can allow them to kind of let go of that fear?
Get a good advocate to help partner with you and help you prepare for the negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
If you, I would say just the more you do it, the better you'll get. So just dive in and go for it. Learn something, evaluate each interaction, and, keep getting better. Make a commitment to get better. There are also lots of resources now online about negotiation. I mean, there's so many different online providers that do negotiation courses. Read a book, do an online course, do practice negotiations if you really have a fear. But you will get better over time if you just continue to analyze the outcome of your deal and know your value. Know your value so you can protect your upside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Let me kind of switch topics here and go to, sometimes one's inner critic, it can compromise a business leader's, an entrepreneur, a woman entrepreneur's ability to make decisions and take risks. And I wonder if this was ever something that happened to you and what you were able to do about this.
Yes, no question. I mean, I still fight my inner critic, and I take deep breaths and I meditate and I try to put that bad boy to rest with preparation and being as prepared and mentally focused as I can be. Taking risks is essential to creating value and to going big in a business. I mean, there's nothing that's risk-free. Otherwise, everyone would be doing it. So, again, I had my own experience is just dive in and do it. There are definitely some deals I've made where I said, boy, I could have done so much better for myself. Why didn't I ask for 5% instead of 2% of that equity? It's just, but you evaluate and recognize your worth, and then you move forward. Don't get stuck in something that didn't work out exactly the way you wanted it to. Evaluate it, figure out how you can do better next time, and then make a next time happen and do better.
Sort of in my work with women business entrepreneurs, I know how very difficult it can be to obtain a work-life balance. You just mentioned that you have a daughter, and just how challenging it is to surround oneself with good nurturing relationships that we really all need in our lives to go forward. And I wonder if you've ever encountered difficulties and what advice you could give to women who are struggling with this and really need peer support.
I would, yes, work-life balance is challenging whether you're in a firm or whether you've got your own business. But I will say having my own business has given me a lot more flexibility. I like what I do, so I do end up working more hours than someone who would have a 9-to-5 situation. That wouldn't really be exciting for me. I need that excitement and the upside. It's important to decide what you want up front and what your priorities are and how to, create flexibility. I mean, if you're the business owner, schedule your time. Use your leverage to schedule your time with your family and your business time as well, because it goes both ways. There are excellent peer support groups for working moms, and I suggest connecting with other women. I mean, having other women around to share and go through the experience and also help you provide you, hacks and tips on how to navigate and support each other is critical. I mean, it makes a huge difference just to take some stress off of the work-life balance. But it's something we haven't solved yet, and it is, something I'm always looking for when I work with female entrepreneurs to say, how are you going to manage this? I had a new company start in April, and two of the women were, there were 4 principals, 3 women, 1 guy, and 2 of the women were having their first baby, and they're like, oh, I don't know, should we do this? And I said, you know what? It's a great time to start your own business because you will be able to have some flexibility in scheduling as opposed to sitting in an office where someone else is standing over you and measuring maybe your productivity not by what you're creating in terms of value for the business, but your time in the seat, which is a very sort of traditional way to measure productivity, and it doesn't benefit women. That kind of mentality doesn't benefit women. So making sure you're communicating your value creation as opposed to just the time you're spending is important.
And really surrounding yourself by women who can promote that and encourage that for you to make it okay.
Absolutely. Yes, we need to, in my view, create new norms for women in the workplace, especially women, working mothers, but all women, because we take care of parents, children, neighbors. I mean, we are jugglers and multitaskers, and that's the way the social expectations have been for us. And I feel that we can create workplaces that allow more flexibility and support women in these different roles.
What would you recommend to women who are in the midst of building a company or starting out on how to develop a mindset for success? Just a couple of things that come up for you.
I would say, write down your vision, commit to yourself that you're going to follow that vision, and then make sure you have something to help with stress, because there will be stressful moments. I mean, things come in waves. You can juggle, but you can't do every single task at once. So you have to make decisions about which and how you're going to prioritize at different times, and that really does shift over time. If you have family obligations. So I would say connect with other great women and learn from them. And learn from each, don't think of we all think of mistakes as mistakes, but don't think of them as a negative. Think of them as a learning opportunity so that you can grow and apply that lesson to the next deal and the next client and the next opportunity.
Sort of, chalk up each of your wins and not look at them as, oh my gosh, I have so much more to do, but rather I've done this and this is great for today.
Absolutely. Yes. Focus on your accomplishments for the day. And, for me, I like to write down my business plan at the beginning of the year. What do I want to accomplish? And some of those goals are really stretch goals, and but putting them out there into the world so you can see them is valuable, and it over time you can achieve those goals. But everything is a learning experience and a learning opportunity. Some of them don't feel good, and sometimes you wonder, boy, am I coming back from this? How am I going to do this?
Right.
But there's another side. You get through it, and then after getting through a challenge or a trauma or a downturn, then you think, okay, I made it through that. You know what? I made it. So I can go on and go upward from here.
Last question. I understand you're developing a video series for women entrepreneurs global to air later this year. A little bit for our listeners, what's this show about, and where we can learn more? Where can we learn about it?
Right. Well, okay, this show is still in development, but we're going to be talking about different strategies, particularly how legal strategies can support your business and how to access those and how to create your initial structure efficiently so that you don't get bogged down and you can focus on growing and turning your product or service into a viable company.
Okay. Sounds like exactly what you do really well in business.
Well,
entrepreneurs, right?
Every opportunity is a new, there's just so much going on in the world right now. There's so much, with all the challenges we have, I view it as a tremendous opportunity for innovation and creation, and we're already starting to see that happen. There are a lot of pain points, and good businesses will help solve pain points and create growth. So it's a huge, huge opportunity and challenge.
Stephanie, thank you so much for having this open sharing dialogue with our listeners today about some of your inspirational journeys as an entrepreneur. And if people want to reach out to you and learn more about you, where should they find you?
They can find me at granatolaw.com, and they can also learn more about my work with We Global at womenentrepreneurs.global.
Okay, great. Those of us at Women's Entrepreneurs Global are committed to powering the success of females. For more information on our guests, this podcast, and many other founder programs, please visit womenentrepreneurs.global, the first startup studio for women. And remember, part of helping young founders move ahead is for us to facilitate an open and non-stigmatizing dialogue about common unconscious psychological struggles, such as the fear of failure, of not being good enough, and that loud, chattering, internal, nonstop critic. Please tune in next week for more Mindset for Success. I'm Dr. Knudsen, and you can drop me a line at Dr. Leslie Knudsen at drleslieknudsen.com. Thanks again so much, Stephanie.
Oh, thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure.